everyone, welcome back to a new video. My name is Kenneth and today we are going to have a very interesting topic about do you remember when was the last time did you buy a game at whole price? You know, the price when they released the game? Well, that is something we are going to know in this video and I want to share my opinion. I really think the games are in a correct price in these moments. Like maybe a little bit expensive than other pros, but I think there are too many games with good quality and a lot of stuff that maybe is really good to pay the whole price because you are supporting those developers that they spend many time on this game. But not every game, okay? Just those really good games, but also can pay like with it is an offer or something like that. But I think they have a really good value at this moment. But while you are still thinking what was that last game you buy at whole price, let me show you when I was the last time I did it. So let's start the video.
Okay, people, the first thing I want to share with you is when I think it's completely right to buy a game at whole price. For example, the next week we are going to have Forza Horizon 6 and I'm completely crazy for this game and I think it deserves the full price can be buy at that price because it's a really good game and also it's in Game Pass, but I don't pay Game Pass. I always buy my games and I really think this game can be that kind of game that it deserves to buy at whole price. Obviously you can buy in an offer if you don't have enough money to for the game. That's completely right. Every time you support the game, buying is completely good for these developers because this is a high quality game and for me this kind of games obviously you have to buy it and pay the price because the developers can make more games in the future if you support them because there are many histories that very good games that didn't sell well, like for example Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and the developers were thinking like I did it great but it didn't make money. This topic was very popular last week because a guy from Bank of America he said something about it would be great that GTA 6 costs 80 or more dollars because the other developers can sell those games with higher price like $80 and the industry will make more money and everybody start to talk about this topic and they say like right now almost everyone is buying the game in offer because the actual financial situation of maybe everybody in the world is difficult because all the chains prices are always higher, the cost of life is always higher every year, and video games are a luxury product on these days because consoles are expensive, games are expensive, and the people like already have a console or PC, they just wait for offers because they normally doesn't have that quantity of money to buy the game or on $70. And for example, if more games get $80 price, probably they will have less sales in the future because people doesn't want to pay too much money for the games. That's something that companies have to understand. And GTA 6, I'm very afraid maybe it will cost like $100, I guess. And that's something really bad because maybe other developers want to follow that path in the future. We will see. Okay, and here I want to share some tips. I already made a video like how my strategy to buy games because I think it's something important on these days because everything is getting expensive. all the time, and video games are not the exception, and I already shared all my strategy. But if you ask me, I normally just buy two games of third parties at whole price, so day one. In this year, it will be Forza Horizon 6, and I guess the next one will be Wolverine, because I'm not going to buy GTA 6 on consoles because you have to pay for the online, and I don't like that way. I prefer to wait until that game comes to PC. And Wolverine, I'm not sure if it's going to be only exclusive on PS6, PS5, sorry. But something that I already know is Insomniac is a great developer, and I always want to support this developer. After Spider-Man 2, they I love that studio, and I want to support them because they can make better games in the future. And for me, that's the strategy. Like, focus on 2, 3, maximum 4 games at full price, and you really are going to enjoy those games. And the other games with less important, you can buy it in offer, after 2 or 3 years when they drop the price. And other point I want to touch is like, I don't know if you already realize, but Nintendo has like different sections of price for those games. Like if you call Mario or Zelda, you are going to have $70 on the store for that game. If you have a name like Star Fox, Splatoon, Raiders because it's in a spin-off, or Yoshi's, you can cost like 60 or even $50 on the eShop because it's something crazy. Like they realize people is not buying too much games on these days, and they took the exactly right decision. If you are not selling too much games, you prefer to drop the price a little bit, people will be happier, and they are going to buy those games because they know like, oh, Nintendo is taking care about me, and in response I want to support these games. In my case, I'm going to buy Yoshi, Splatoon Raiders, and Star Fox on day one because I really like the Nintendo games. But also, when you see like they will be $10 or $20 discount, like $60 or $50, you definitely say like, I want to support these guys because they know these games are less important, but they are really good games in a good price.
Well, that is all the information I can share with you, and I want to share my own conclusion of this topic. I am still buying games at whole price in the first day they release, but normally those are like Nintendo games because Nintendo never drop the price of those exclusive games, and the other company they normally drop the price after 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Many offers in the market, and I just buy those games because I know they never going to drop the price in the future, and that's the reason I want to play on the first day because it's the same thing 5 years later, 7 years later, 8 years later, like Zelda Breath of the Wild. And for me, I I think we have to buy those games when the game is really good and we want to support the developers, but only for those games that really they spend time, money, they made the better possible they can do, and those games deserve that money, deserve maybe you pay that price. For example, in this year we have like Resident Evil 9, Pragmata, and Forza Horizon 6 is coming few days after the publish of this game, of this video, and you have to support those companies. Normally we didn't think that way, and we want everything in the less price possible, but I really want to support the gaming industry because I love this hobby. That's the reason I create this channel. But Nothing more to say. Leave your like, subscribe, share me if you enjoyed the video. Leave me more suggestions for the next video. And I want to know that game you buy on whole price. When was the last time? Leave me in your comments. So nothing more. See you in the next video. Bye bye.